not on us. I'm not gonna spend 1 second trying to get a damn car started when you didn't pull the thing. I'm not wasting my time. You want it not to start? Unstart all of them, which they are, right? With your bad self. I'm not doing that. That don't mean, it don't mean that you give up or you quit. We're saying, hold it, it's at a serious point now. Before we go all the way over the edge, you're going to need somebody to coordinate your activity. That's what we're saying, and this is where he's finding himself in a problem. You need us to do that for everybody else. Why? Because of Tazkiyah bil Nas and Nia. We have the intention to do right, and we don't want none of it. We just don't want it. We don't care nothing about it. We don't want it. We had it. That's the beauty that you have it. You had it, and you know the difference between how you felt then and how you feel when you go and stay down there all night cooking some food and go give people a plate of food. You know the difference in the feeling, right? It don't make no difference what they say. You say, I already know the damn difference. I'm sorry, right? I don't care what right? You know the difference, and they know the difference. Or else the idiots, when we go over to Baltimore and come back and we're going to go the next day, they done took our meat. We got that kebab and our eggs and something else, right? And they stole it. Then they brought it back and we threw it out. We said, no, they brought it back and put it up. What's wrong with these? You know what I mean? Okay, so we had less to do, but they can't take from us, right? Because Ania, they don't believe in it. Ania was to serve that food. Ania, we cooked it, we did it, right? And we were a little slack. We was exactly slack on what we had. Eggs and a doggone meat, right? That's what we were slack on over there.
Right.
That's exactly what they know what they're doing. I don't have to prove nothing. You idiots, and then you put the crap back and think I'm going to serve it to somebody. I don't know what you did with it. I ain't going to serve nobody that food. You want it, you keep it. That's the way we are. What I'm trying to say is, the way we are right now, it's not big giving up, it's not apathetic, it's none of that. What we're saying is, this is a big job, but ain't nothing 2-3 people can do, right? Right? You're gonna have to have the sense or the confidence and study all your institutions, because the time, that was a time 20, 30 years ago, if they would allow the movement to progress and develop, we could have been where we need to be probably now. That time is gone. The time, the time to get around to universities and get all the black kids to go get their money from the government to stay in school, to lower your expectation, become dumb police. Right? Right now, in a hurry. Remember, this is what we said. This was our need 2 years ago. But I don't feel right now, I don't feel that there's time for that. I don't feel that that's I feel that things are moving so fast downhill and it's accelerating that only the dummy himself. Now, that's That's a miracle. The dummy himself, or some of the, remember we said that we talked 10 to 15% of the FBI. So we're thinking in any institution, 10% of the people is real. We're reaching out to them. Y'all got to have a rebellion yourself. You got to tell your people, we're gonna, look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna support them, we're gonna support their thing, because it'll take 1,000 years for us to evolve, to have Hollywood. It takes a big, this is a big, now if it was a war between somebody else, the white man understands that. He can mobilize the movie industry, everything, fight for war. He can do that. Can't beat him, he'll do it. Right?
He's doing it.
He has done it, and he'll do it. And he's trying to get people in that mode, but that ain't the war.
Right.
To try to get Taiwan and China and all that, that ain't the war, you dummy. But those are the wars that if he can engineer you into that, he think he can win. He's stupid. He thought if he could engineer Ukraine and engineer Russia into a trap of attacking Ukraine, that was the stupidest failure. And the longer we go, the world is on whose side? It's on Russia's side. The longer it goes, tell the truth.
Yeah, it's obvious.
It's obvious, and then the Europeans, they mumbling and grumbling and you know.
Right.
Anyway, let me get back and to close out. Here's where we are. We've been planning for this for decades. This almost exact scenario. You could remember all the CDs, the DVDs, and the tapes, you know, and the writing. We've been expecting this. It's just that we're in an accelerated time right now. That's one thing you can't judge. What is the acceleration pace? You know what I mean? Okay, they're accelerating beyond, it's beyond what we can do. That's why it's total wafida, total trust in Allah. Allah can change the hearts and minds of those people so that we can mobilize humanity. The other part is that the earth is not going to put up with us. It's already, as far as the earth is concerned, the decree is already your problem. And we're going to have a cold, right? We're going to have fever. We're going to get rid of your behind. The earth is already, you can see the earth has already made its natural decision. You are a problem. There's too many of you, there's too much of you, and we're finished with you. So, everything you've read about, fire, brimstone, floods, you're going to get all of that, and they get it, and they're just stupid. People are looking. There's something, you have to admit, something is wrong with these idiots downtown. And then there, you know, something is wrong with them. Okay, maybe it was a Reba, it says Reba runs you crazy, right? Power runs you crazy. So whatever it was, it ran them crazy. There's going to have to be a cooperation between them and us. And this is something that, this is the crooks. They're going to have to trust the Negro and a few Negro-like people invested with executive implementation authority personally, I'm 77 years old. I ain't gonna be around much longer anyway. And I can't feel any better than I already feel. You know, and that is wonderful, where it doesn't make any difference. And that's the way I feel, even with all of the rain and everything. It's okay. We've already done, see, we're not tested or tried beyond our ability, right? And the Lord knows what our ability is. That don't mean that we believe in destiny. That our destiny is, no, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about ability, not destiny. We have enough sense to know we, right here, don't have the ability to do all of what has to be done. You have to mobilize your forces. Because we're willing, but you're able. You see what I mean?
Yep.
We're willing to do it, but you're able to do it. If you don't do it, maybe you got another week, maybe another month. Shoot, you may have another 10 years, I don't know. But let's not get too far out there, right? So that's why we feel happier and about that. We have an idea. We know who we are. We're not Siraj. We're not Mellow Yellow now. We're not Abdul Malik. We're not Mukhtar now. We're not those people. That's what we know. We know we're not them. We don't want whatever they have. We don't want it. We don't want it. You know. So it's not the point of just. It's more tafweed in rhythm than it is post-traumatic growth, although they're all there. They're all intermingled. We got to just try to mingle it up. But that's the correct thing right now. We're already going through and have been through our post-traumatic growth. And everything that happened to us made us better. If I could say in the hospital down there that you have to think of optimism after the people, the Negroes who you didn't help thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they had busted you upside your head and you can't even remember, how to pray, and you just say optimism. That means we already know. I mean, we ain't finished, but we already know where we're headed, and we don't dislike them. We don't hate them. We don't wish ill on them. We want to help them. We want to help them. Those are the people you got on the help list first. Help list. Mukhtar, because he needs help. Nobody would do that to people listening and help them. Abdul Malik them didn't help him. Abdul Malik them tried to keep them all down under him. We just said, no, you can do that stuff. All you got to do is do this. So now that's the combination. Tafweed, Rida. We're doing that because we're turning our whole thing over to, we are going to, we have already way back when, but it is still different levels of it, you know what I mean? And where you come to the point where you're super conscious of it. Well, you'll be there again next week, and man, we're turning our whole thing over to Allah. That's good. You've been doing that for 100 years, but this is just another little reminder You know, where it's a reminder. You're reminded of something that you already know. Okay? And in closing, post-traumatic growth, it's not even traumatic, it's what everybody else would call it. Everything that happened to us is not traumatic. In the beginning, it was helicopters close to your house, making the house shake. It would make you paranoid. I know it made the kids and everybody paranoid. But that stuff is long gone. It ain't that stuff. So post-traumatic growth has kicked in. Everything that they did was the aid. And in closing, it's been going on. When I had a date in 1963 to get out in February of 1964, but we had the riot in January of 64, and they took my date, and I stayed there for over a year more. That year that I stayed there was a great period of growth. It's a good thing I didn't get out when I got out, because I knew what I would have went back to. When I got out, the black movement is on a roll. Malcolm just spent Margaret, da-da-da-da-da. When I made exile, overseas, the money I gave to the Negroes to help them stabilize and we'll come back and take over America. Them niggas didn't do it. The brothers didn't think about coming back to America. Hell, they went somewhere farther away. I didn't stand there and give man, because Allah gave me that money to do with, right? And everything else, that stuff that they think that makes it there don't make no difference. I've been gone from Oakland so long, I actually don't care about it. I'm gonna get all that stuff back, but I don't care about it. It don't have nothing to do with it. I don't spend not 1 minute even thinking about it. Or what to do in Oakland. One reason is, hell, with this thing going the way it's going, Oakland may not be here that much longer, no way. Closer it is to the water. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen the things about California? And
Yeah.
it's heartbreaking. You know, the white woman on the news, I don't remember if I could see her or her. One of the things I did remember seeing, this is kind of lightly heavy set white woman, maybe in her 30s. It's all gone. You know, I've never been to anything like that, but I can identify, I think, it's all gone. Hell, everything is gone. The flood, it wasn't here yesterday, it's here today, and it's gone. And everybody, so why the hell would I be thinking about there's something back there or here? You know, I haven't even got to the point of sleeping under a bridge yet. Not even close. I'm sleeping in a nice. We got air conditioning. This is a small air conditioner. I got a fan and an air conditioner. Bring the air in here. Got a cardboard box to run the air down here from the, and then it blows the air all around the whole place. This is a small air conditioner. Keeps the whole place cool. Not the big little air conditioners that Tufel had. Just the little bitty teeny windows and all those little windows. A small, probably 5,000, 4,000, whatever they call that stuff. The point is, for us, or for myself, life is fine. But I can identify that poor white lady is all gone. And technically, They don't have that, you know, it's all gone. And this is happening to people. A hurricane, now close, a hurricane go down the thing, and it may take that house over there, skip that whole row over there, and then take the one at the end, go back. You know where those tornadoes, they take, and they just took everything. The one in Florida a few years ago, they couldn't even find the block. The street signs was down, and they saw one thing, and they could judge, oh, my house was, according to that, over here, I think it was a fire hydrant. You know what I mean? They could see the fire hydrant, and they know when I looked out my window, the fire hydrant was over there, right? This was the thing that happened about 3 years ago in Florida. But that how they have them every year now, all the time. And I'm going to close with this, but you never believe it, because see, when you read the scriptures and you see all the warning signs, you can't imagine how people would be so stupid that they didn't write. But here it is. That's why I know the scripture is true. Why the hell they live through it? They say it every day. Right? How could they miss that? Right? Tell it to them. How are you missing that? Are there any questions or comments from anybody? Okay, does any of this stuff make sense?
Definitely does.
Okay. Do you have any comment that you'd like to make?
Well, I mean, I asked the first question. I guess that something that I've noticed in